That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 122 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and trains. And before we can tell you about these trains, we got to tell you about
trains.
The news. Okay, David's going to tell you about trains.
There's a guy, he shovels coal into a fireplace and the train moves.
You could literally ask me how a train works now, and I would just tell you that is the way that trains work, and I could be very wrong.
Trains.
Where do you plug in the train if it's electric now? I just don't get it. But before David answers all these questions, we got to tell you about train news, or just news in general. Weird news, that is. And David, I have a story that I was actually torn to bring up because I just found it so interesting, but it's also like a little like
tragic.
Yeah, tragic in multiple ways. But it says inmate who survived execution attempt dies of COVID-19.
Oh, science will always get you.
So it's just this guy on Ohio's death row, they attempted to execute him in 2009. And apparently they say that he just died recently. They think he was on the COVID probable list. I think he was 64 years old, but they tried to kill him back in 2009 by lethal injection when he was 53. But I guess they could not find a suitable vein, and they stuck him 18 times with the needle to try to find the vein. And apparently he was like crying out in pain and stuff like that.
Take the bullet.
So I know, right? But so they had to stop. So they're like, we can't find a vein. So I guess, we'll let you live longer. And he lived for, that was in 2009. So he lived for like 11 more years.
Quick math.
Yeah. But, yeah, apparently I think they tried it multiple times to execute him, but like this goes back to what we were talking about, where this is a little different. Remember we were talking about the guy who got hanged and he survived, and you're like, do you get to live your life now because you survived your execution? This is just like he might have done some drugs in the past, and they've receded into his body and stuff like that, where they can't get a vein anymore. But I don't really feel bad for him anymore because I found out like what he did, and it's it's really, really awful. So I was like, you know what? I felt bad at first, and I was like, oh, they should have let him live because his vein, he survived. And then I was like, he did this, and I was like, they should have stuck him 19 times and found the vein, because that's why I was like, I don't know if I should read this. It's if you guys want to look it up, I don't want to talk about it, but his name
must be bad.
Romel Broom. Romell Broom. And let's just say he murdered somebody and did some other stuff, and it's really awful. But I just wanted to talk about that because I thought it was super interesting, and COVID is getting out of hand, so you guys have to be safe out there. Okay?
You know what I didn't like about that story?
What?
It didn't have any trains in it.
Nah. Oh, that's how they That's how they originally tried to execute him. They tied him to a railroad track by a guy in a top hat and a mustache.
There it is. That's all you're looking for.
Everybody used to try to kill people that way,
Yeah.
Just leave them on the railroad tracks, which is like, I guess, a good way. It's a terrifying way to die because the anticipation is everything.
Oh, yeah. Feel it coming a mile away.
I'd at least put some quarters down in front of me, some pennies, make them all flat.
So I got a news story here. Nurse strips off PPE suit to have sex with COVID patient in hospital toilet. Suspended.
Okay, so both COVID stories coming in hot right now. Wait, she had sex in the toilet.
In the toilet.
What, in the bowl? How tiny are these people?
He dunked her in the toilet first.
Man, this must have been a sexy COVID patient, I have to say.
Must have been.
I don't know. That's kind of crazy that, like, he actively had COVID, and she's like, I'm still going to do this.
Yeah, couldn't wait till he's out of the hospital, huh?
This must have been Fabio with a seagull splattered
Stuck
on
in
his
his
face.
face.
That's the only way I would strip off my PPE to have sex with him.
That's one of the craziest stories in the world. Is
What the-
that the world's most beautiful man was struck in the face with a seagull on a roller coaster, and there's a photograph of it.
And blood on his face. Like, 'cause usually when I feel like you hit a bird or something like that, it's just like, oh, I hit a bird. Or like, like this bird bled.
I don't think that was the bird's blood.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, that was his blood?
I think so. Hit him in the face.
Is this
He broke his nose.
I like how he got hit with the one bird that's actually real. He's lucky he didn't get. Oh, unless that was that was a
That could have
big
been a
hunk
Russian
of,
spy.
big hunk of metal hit him in the face. That's why he was bleeding. I've never seen another man get hit in the face with a bird and bleed.
That's true. I don't think I have
saying.
either.
Just saying.
Have you, listeners?
No. But what were we talking about? The COVID? Oh yeah, she have COVID now. By the way,
Yeah, probably.
she's
That's probably why she got
suspended.
suspended.
I mean, that's good. She gets to stay at home now,
It's one way to get out of work.
and now she has somebody for her pod. Guy could come over and hang out.
There you go.
It was worth it. It was worth it, apparently.
Nice little vacay.
I have another story right here as exceptionally well-preserved snack bar unearthed in Pompeii.
Oh, hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
Fabio didn't get hit in the face with a seagull.
What did he hit in the face with?
A fucking goose.
Honestly, Fabio should be our president because I'm anti-goose. Geese are so mean. I think we talked about this on the podcast before. We're anti-wasp, anti-geese or goose. We're a couple other anti-animals that are just mean. They don't need to exist. I mean, sure, geese are beautiful, but you ever been hissed at by a geese and you're like, why did God teach them to hiss? They don't.
Why did he do it?
They don't even have teeth, I don't think.
Oh, I think they have very small, rigid teeth.
How do you know that, David?
I've been inside of a goose's mouth.
How rigid are they?
Oh, they're so rigid. They're like the Rockies.
But wow, a goose, a big honking goose.
Yeah, I wonder if it honked when it hit him in the face.
But like speaking of goose, I don't know if this is a really, but researchers said on Saturday that they discovered a fast food counter of an exceptional state preserved in Pompeii. And for those of you who don't know about Pompeii, it was a big volcano that went boom and everybody turned into statues of ash.
Yeah, one guy's jerking his dinky.
Yeah, okay, I always bring that up. And I was like,
It's not real.
yeah, I mean, I just feel so bad for these people that are like in their last moments. I just like love the lifestyles and like culture that we put on them today, because like we don't really know what their lifestyle was like, but you see these two people like huddled together like dying, and they're like, look at, these are two men, they must have been gay lovers. I'm like, yeah, they might have been, but like they could have just been like two guys who were really scared.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, yeah, these guys were definitely together. And then the guy's like, don't tell my wife, who's also an ash pile, like, back at home. Like,
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it's just really interesting that this snack bar was found. And on the front of, like, the snack bar, it was a mermaid riding a seahorse. Very fun. Ooh. And on the inside, the animals believed to have been on the menu were mallard ducks, roosters. They served wine and other hot beverages, and they also they found some duck bone fragments, some pigs, goats, fish, and snails.
Okay. Some escargot.
A little escargot, but like I just thought, crushed fava beans used to modify the taste of wine. I have to try that. Sounds fun. But I just think it's so interesting that like even in these like ancient cultures, there's like, yep, we're gonna you want to go to the gladiator, you're gonna want a snack. If there's one thing true about humans is that we love snacks.
You're gonna want to eat this pretzel when you watch that large man turn that small man into a pretzel.
What did you think happened at gladiator battles?
He just mashed them up on the ground.
He starts twisting them into a
Start
pretzel.
bending them in all different directions the way the arms aren't supposed to go.
Gotta salt them after. That's the trick.
Salt the wound.
Yeah, salt 'em. But I thought it was so cool. I mean, you guys could Google this, and there's like a little picture of this really cool like snack bar. It's just like it has a bunch of like holes in it. I wonder. It reminds me of the guy who goes around with the ice cream push thing, and he
Yeah.
reaches in and he pulls
cart?
out. Yeah, the cart with the bell.
Oh yeah.
With the demonic SpongeBob. How long are we
Its
gonna have
face
this?
is melting.
How long are we gonna have the SpongeBob ice cream before kids are just like, "What's this thing?" And they're like, "Oh, you guys don't know about SpongeBob anymore?" I feel like SpongeBob's just gonna be around forever.
Yeah, aren't they still making episodes?
No, I think they're done. Oh, they're gonna like release a movie or something like that. But those gumball eyes,
You can never get rid of SpongeBob.
those gumball eyes stare at me in the darkness.
It is pretty haunting.
I hate things with gum where you have to eat the gum with a food you're supposed to swallow. I cannot stand it.
It's too complicated for you.
Yeah, I just don't. I start swallowing the gum, chewing the ice cream. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like
I remember my mom gave me a giant candy cane. You know those big plastic tubes?
Oh, the ones that are like the candy cane tube filled with like Hershey Kisses and like
Yeah.
Reese's and stuff. Yeah.
One time my mom gave me one of those and it was full of bubble gum.
Oh,
But
like
it wasn't
balls.
wrapped.
But like gumballs?
No. It was more like it looked more like a cotton candy kind of thing. And I ate that entire motherfucker.
You swallowed them?
I swallowed it all. It's still in me. I was like 5 or 6 and oh yeah, that's still inside of me.
See, this is what we're talking about. People do not trust us with gum. We are anti-gum.
Can't handle it.
Actually,
It's too much
pro-gum.
responsibility, honestly.
We're anti-chewing gum, pro-swallowing gum.
Yes. Why haven't we just
Wow.
made a gum you can eat yet, huh? What about that?
Is that just like taffy? Is that,
I don't know.
is
No.
that like taffy?
No, because taffy it dissolves eventually.
You ever see one of those taffy pulling machines? So satisfying.
Oh
to
yeah,
watch.
man.
They're
Oregon
so
coast, saltwater taffy.
Oh yeah, we actually get some in NorCal too. Like there's like 1 or 2 spots that like on the coast that sell like saltwater taffy out of like a shed, and you're like, I don't know about this. No, it's nice. It's a nice place.
my shed taffy. I taste every piece before I wrap it.
I just feel like taffy, like there was a big taffy accident out at sea one day, and then it just keeps rolling in, and there's a guy out there, and he just fishes the taffy in, and he's like, I have saltwater taffy straight from the salt water.
Wasn't there a story of like a taffy factory burning down and the whole city got flooded with taffy?
Oh, that was the molasses, Great Molasses Flood in Boston.
But wasn't that like from a taffy thing?
No, it was syrup. They were made at a syrup factory on top of the roof, and it collapsed and drowned a bunch of horses and people. And that's how you make taffy, people.
Yeah, that's how they discovered taffy. They burn them horses
This
right
horse
up.
is so sticky. Anyway, so do you have one more story? I have another
Yeah.
one. I thought you were gonna use this one. You might still, but
Police shut down Christmas mall kiosk after intoxicated Santa, Mrs. Claus, and Elf had a threesome in public.
why are you doing this?
Is that the one you had?
No, it's not the one I have. But both of yours was about people having sex in like public
Oh,
places. You're
oh,
not supposed to have
oh.
sex.
Oh no.
Wait, so Santa?
Oh, I got. Hold on, I'm gonna text this to you because you have to see these photos.
I don't
This
know
is-
if I want to.
This is next level. Holy shit!
Is there pictures? Do they have it on the set? Wait,
It's their
wait.
mugshot.
Oh fuck! Are they still wearing like their costumes?
I mean, a Santa is never out of costume.
Do you remember when Beans from Even Stevens was an elf at the mall?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did
I
you
wish-
did you receive my text?
Let's see. No. Oh wait. No.
What?
Who did you send that to?
Oh, I sent it to my realtor.
Well, he just dropped the price of my house by $50.
That is my biggest fear when I send you and our friends like the worst images I can find on the internet is that I might accidentally text it to my my realtor.
Oh my fucking god. These are not real people. These are melted. Dude, who hired these people? These are like melted wax statues of like James Gandolfini. What are these? These are weird.
Here's a quote. Mrs. Claus was sitting on Santa's lap, moaning and groaning while he had his pants down, and while we waited in line, one shocked parent told reporters.
What? They're doing it in the chair?
The elf started masturbating under his trousers and fondling Mrs. Claus's breast, as well as French kissing Santa Claus at the same time.
Wait. The elf was also French kissing Santa Claus, or Mrs. Claus was?
I believe the elf was French kissing Santa Claus while fondling Mrs. Claus while diddling himself.
Wow. And it's a Christmas miracle.
Boy.
That's something.
This can't be real. There's no
way.
way.
What mall is that, and how far is it away from my house?
O-H. I-O. Ohio.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were trying to say.
That's a thing they do.
Oh my god, that's so, dude.
Hold on.
Pictures are so bad.
I gotta make sure this is a real website. It
One of
looks like it's real.
The guy's eye isn't facing the right way. For one of the elf, he's looking in two separate directions. Oh no. Well, not my mall, not my problem. That's what I say.
Kind of hard to move on from that, huh?
Wait, are people still allowed to go see Santa Claus during COVID times?
Probably shouldn't be, but they are, aren't they?
I mean, they're having sex.
Last year, took my niece to go see Santa, but we didn't want to pay for the pictures, so she just sat on his lap, and then I took a photo over the hedges with my phone.
Didn't somebody catch you?
Probably. What are they gonna do about it?
It's like that video of them trying to take a picture of like the roller coaster after they got on the roller coaster, and the person's trying to put their hand in front of the screen.
They're trying to jump in front of it, taking their job way too seriously.
Sorry, your industry is outdated now. I just take a picture of your picture.
Oh yeah,
we have phones in our pockets.
Everybody's got one.
But I have one more quick story. I just want to read the title because I know you'd like this, David. Dog polishes off family's Christmas dinner, is unable to move after that.
That's good. One year, my parents' chocolate lab ate like 5 gingerbread houses in one night.
Oh, man.
It got diabetes.
Oh, man. I had a dog eat a whole tin of peanut brittle.
Ooh.
So, wait, this dog's name is Bubba, and he's a 5-year-old Chiopso? And he ate a whole turkey, apparently.
Hell yeah.
So
sounds awesome. Bone and all.
He looks. I mean, there's probably some bones in there. Let's not kid ourselves. But he looks the size of a turkey. So Jesus, oh my God. Anyway, I just wanted to read you that because we need a little sunlight in this COVID sex death row horribleness that we got going on here.
We need to talk about trains. Oh man, you're gonna love my story.
I bet I will. Oh, I always do.
Very cool.
Okay, but I guess let's get into these stories because you guys are all caught up on the news. So let's do it. Now, David, I once again would like to come back to Camp Strange roots for the end of 2020 in the form of a heavy hitter amongst all folklore lovers. By the way, this comes out on like what? The 1st? Happy New Year, guys? Right?
Yeah, see you next year. Fuck, I should have said that last time.
So, like I said, this is another heavy hitter. You see, every once in a while, you come across a story with so much detail and documentation that it's hard not to take notice. Although the story is very specific and highly detailed, that does not mean that this terrifying tale does not come without doubters, as many folks over the years have contested the truth and validity of this tale itself. But I say that it is up for each person who hears it to decide. So I ask you to take a trip with me into the sincerity and genuinity of the legend known only as the Bell Witch. Now, David, do you know anything about the Bell Witch?
She hides in a bell tower.
She hides in a Taco Bell.
Fuck. And then no, I don't know anything about the Bell Witch.
You know so much about the Bell Witch. You live at Taco Bell.
Bell Witch projects.
It actually inspired loosely. It didn't inspire the Blair Witch, but people go like, "Oh, it's one of the inspirations," and I'm like, it just has the name witch in it. You know, it's like I don't know, maybe, but
yeah,
I've seen the movie and read this story, and they don't correlate that much. But let's get into it. So, in the early 1800s, John Bell moved his family from North Carolina to the Red River Bottomland in Robertson County, Tennessee, settling in a community called Adams. Bell purchased 328 acres and a large house for his wife and 3 children, where he began to farm crops. He also became an elder of his Baptist church, proving his devoutness to his religion. And he would need this religion because soon things began to change on the farm for the Bell family. I always think it's so creepy when someone's like, I am an elder of this. And you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, I'm an elder. I'm like, all right, so you're in a cult? Like, anytime somebody's an elder, I don't really trust them.
It's not an easy title to gain without doing some shady shit.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like something's gone down. Like, you definitely threw a kid in a fire, right? One day in 1817, John Bell, who was inspecting his cornfield, all of a sudden encountered a strange-looking animal sitting in the middle of a corn row. Shocked by the appearance of this animal, which had the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit, Bell shot at the animal several times.
I think that's just my dog.
Body of a dog, head of a goblin boy. But I love how, like, that's like the first. I mean, fair enough. Like, you probably are like, that's like some kind of wolf thing. You know, you're just going to shoot it because you think it's going to fuck up your crops or your livestock or whatever like that. But I love how he's like, what's that animal? I don't know what that is. Shoot it. Hurry, shoot it. So, like I said, Bell shot at the animal several times.
It made a move at us. I think it just said, huh?
I love Strange Wilderness. Underrated comedy.
Yep.
So, but lucky for the creature, it vanished right before John Bell's eyes. You know how those half-dog, half-rabbits be doing?
Always.
So Bell was confused, but thought nothing more about the incident after the fact, thinking it was just his imagination. But something would soon return that evening. After the family dinner, the Bells began hearing beating sounds on the outside walls of their log house. Frightened and distressed, John Bell raced outside to see what the source of the sound was, but found nothing but open fields and the cold air of the night.
Ooh.
So after the incident,
I got goosebumps.
So also, I love a nice log cabin.
Oh, who doesn't?
It's so like, I always thought that I would have to like build a log cabin in my life. Like when you see Lincoln logs, and I'm like, so I just have to go chop down a bunch of trees and just stack them. Like, what a easy way to build a house. I don't know if that's an easy way to build a house.
And then you gotta stuff the cracks with mud and grass
and moss.
Piss on it.
Mm-hmm. What?
You piss on it so the raccoons don't come.
Is that why your house stinks?
Yes, because the raccoons.
He's like, you know that fuzzy stuff in the wall? What's it called? The fiberglass? You know, you gotta soak it in piss. That's why it's not working good.
It tastes better when it's dipped in piss.
It's dipped. David's like that video of the raccoon with the cotton candy that accidentally drops in the water and it disappears, except he drops his fiberglass insulation in a bowl of piss.
And I still reach around in it trying to find where it went.
He's so scared. After the incident, other family members began to confess that they had seen strange things that day as well. John's son Drew claimed to have seen a bird of extraordinary size perched on their fence before it flew off into the night sky. Boy saw a goose.
That's a goose headed straight for Fabio's face.
He's like, you guys know any good Austrian models I can fuck up real quick?
Just want to hit him right in the face.
So, next, his daughter Betsy observed a girl in a green dress swinging from the limb of an oak tree before disappearing into the woods after being spotted. Again, kind of weird,
but not a goose.
but it definitely ain't a goose.
No.
And third, a large black dog was following guests outside of their houses. Invisible dog noises were, I don't even know what that means, but they said invisible.
It's much different than a normal dog. You can tell it's invisible. It has like an echo to it.
But they said invisible dog fighting noises outside the house. They're like, oh, that's an invisible dog out there.
You hear the other dog saying, fuck, I can't see him. I can't see him either.
They're just getting bit out of nowhere, and you're like, the invisible dog's back. But, yeah, I assume that it's just dog noises outside the house. That there went out there and there was no dogs.
Yeah.
And the sound of chains being dragged underneath the floorboards. And it was
That one's
all
not fun.
It was all just being too strange at this point, so they had a lot of questions. It was all just too weird to be coincidences. So over the next few weeks, the mysterious sounds continued with increased frequency and force each night. Bell and his sons often hurried outside to catch the culprit, but always returned empty-handed. In the weeks that followed, the Bell children began waking up frightened, complaining that rats were gnawing at their bedposts.
The invisible rats, though.
Oh, my bed feels an inch lower. With the invisible rats chewing an inch off my walnut.
Quite honestly, I like it. I reach the ground better. I feel more secure being closer to the ground.
Now I can reach my glass of water I placed on the floor. It's got little chunks of black things at the bottom of it that taste like rat shit, but there ain't no rats around. It must be the invisible rats, I'm guessing.
I like my flavor pellets.
So, it's like Mio, but worse. Not long after that, the children began complaining of having their bed covers pulled from them and their pillows tossed onto the floor by a seemingly, what, David? Yes, invisible entity. The dogs are in the house.
What are you going to do now? The invisible dogs are in the house. There's nothing you really can do but try to hide.
Mama, the invisible dogs is in the house. Mama. And guess what? They brought invisible rats with them. Fuck. So, John also began to experience paralysis in his mouth. What that means? You know what does that? Copious amounts of rat shit.
Yeah, it makes your mouth go numb.
My water tastes like paralysis. Fuck this. So, as time went on, the Bells began hearing faint whispering voices, or a voice. The voice was too weak to understand, but the entire family testified that it sounded like a feeble old woman singing hymns. Hymns, hair care products for men.
Fuck yeah, sponsor us. You think we could just send them an invoice for like $20?
And we're like, yeah, I think we could, or at least get some boner pills out of it.
Yeah, that shit's expensive.
Anyway, so the encounters escalated rapidly shortly after, and the Bells' youngest daughter, Betsy, began experiencing brutal encounters with the invisible entity. That's not funny, David.
It's just thinking of invisible things that were never funny to me until tonight.
It's good.
It's pretty good stuff.
Invisible dogs in the house. So it was. It's quite a predicament to have, I tell you.
I tell you what.
I've been sneezing. I've just been sneezing a bunch.
And everything smells like piss.
Seriously. So, it would pull her hair and then slap her relentlessly. Dog slaps. So
just
often
a full
leaving
paw slap.
So often leaving welts and handprints, or should I say paw prints, on her face and body. The disturbances, which John Bell told his family to keep a secret, eventually escalated to such a point that he decided to share his family trouble with his closest friend and neighbor, James Johnson. And I read that sentence and I was like, this is not a good look for you. What's his name? Bell, Daddy Bell. It's not a good look for you, because if your children are just getting slapped and you're like, don't tell anybody about this. Like this.
That makes it look like you be the slapper.
Exactly. Like, he just slapping his children when they're sleeping. He's like, Invisible Man just did this. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? So Johnson and his wife spent the night at so this is Belle's friend, Johnson. Johnson and his wife spent the night at Belle's home that same evening, and he was told about the disturbances. And to their surprise, they were subjected to the same terrifying disturbances that the Bells had experienced. After having his bed covers removed and being slapped repeatedly, Belle hated Johnson too.
It's still good. It holds up.
He's like, you gotta sleep in this bed. It's crazy. You just get slapped in the middle of the night. He just started wailing on him. Crawled under the bed.
I don't think I've ever been woken up by a slap, but I don't want to imagine it's great.
You ever seen those people get like antiqued where they just throw a handful of flour in your face when you're sleeping?
I get elbowed in the face a lot in my sleep.
But
not. I don't think it's on purpose.
I wake up cold with next to a cocoon woman wrapped in blankets, and I have none. But that's another problem. Yep. Invisible cocoon woman. So Johnson, like I said, bed covers removed, slapped repeatedly, and Johnson sprang out of bed, exclaiming, "In the name of the Lord, who are you, and what do you want?" Which is a great thing to yell when you jump out of bed.
Yeah.
The voice answered feebly, "I am a spirit. I am a spirit. I was once very happy, but I have been disturbed." Classic ghost shit.
It's down with the sickness.
So the spirit then offered diverse explanations of why it had appeared, tying its origin to the disturbance of a Native American burial mound located on the property, and sent Drew Bell and Bennett Porter on an unproductive search for buried treasure, which is the most funny thing I've ever heard.
That's good.
It's the funniest thing. There's buried treasure, and then the ghost is like, "Did they leave yet? There ain't no fucking buried treasure."
They're going to be very unproductive about this.
I'm going to go slap them out in the fields. So the entity's voice strengthened over time to the point that it was loud and unmistakable now. It sang hymns, quoted scripture, carried on intelligent conversation, and once even quoted, word for word, 2 sermons that were preached at the same time on the same day, 13 miles apart. I cannot wrap my head around what that means.
And I'm more curious on who's doing the legwork figuring that out.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, did they have 2 different people at 2 churches and somebody with the ghost, and it was like mimicking both churches? I think it's just more impressive that both churches had the same sermons at the same time. Not that the ghost was like, I could also mime them. It's like the Fox News. It's like the news things where it's like they show the clips of like 20 news organizations that all have the same script.
Oh yeah, that shit's very trippy.
Yeah, is that what they're doing for like these churches where this ghost is just selling these sermons to these to these churches?
It's tax-free money, baby.
So they're 13 miles apart, which is just out of earshot of ghosts. So we know that now. So word of this supernatural phenomenon soon spread outside the settlement, even to Nashville, where then Major General Andrew Jackson took a keen interest. Was he an asshole?
I think they all were back then.
I think a little bit, but everybody seems to like George Washington quite a bit.
People say nice guys finish last, but back then it was nice guys die first.
Is that how it went?
Yep.
Okay, all the good guys are stuffed at the bottom of whiskey barrels or something. I don't know how they kill people back then.
Made the whiskey bitter.
I got run over by horses. Hardly anybody gets murdered by horses anymore, and it upsets me.
You sure about that, Chief?
I don't know. Do people get murdered by horses?
4 a day at least.
Honestly, I would believe that number.
Yeah.
You might be right on the nose.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's true.
I think you can literally go tell somebody today, anybody listening to this, be like, do you know 4 people a day get murdered by horses? And I like how we say murder.
Yeah, because they know what they're doing.
The horses, they have intent to kill. They know.
I'm Googling.
Okay. Well, I'll keep going with the story until you find out the horse murder per capita.
Okay, over 100
Stats.
deaths per year estimated
Okay.
from equestrian-related activities.
Those are the.
It says
No, I'm just gonna say those are the most murderous horses because they have to. The people on top of them do like handstands and I know it's called dressage. That's a type of horse gymnastics, ballet.
Yeah, but okay, you can sit back and say, okay, 100 deaths per year. You know, that's kind of messed up. But when you also look at it the other direction, 2 horses die a day in America.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess they have a right to murder at this point.
you
so
can't
let's
race no
continue.
more.
So John Bell Jr., Drew Bell, and Jesse Bell, John Bell's eldest sons, had fought under General Jackson in the Battle of New Orleans. And due to the Bells serving under him and the extraordinary amount of attention it was receiving, in 1819, Jackson decided to visit the Bell farm and see what all the hoopla was about. Which is crazy. I guess, like, some of Andrew Jackson's men like went there to go check out the farm and like ran away. So he's like, oh, they got scared. I gotta go check me out a ghost farm. So he went to the actual farm, which is like pretty crazy.
Or they just ran away because they're tired of working for him.
That's true too. So there ain't no treasure here. Damn lying ghost. So Jackson's entourage consisted of several men, some well-groomed horses. Oh no. At least they're well groomed. You got to keep an eye on them, though.
Yeah, they're usually happier that way. They won't kill so much.
What they say? Happy horses make good cheese. What's that thing they say in California? Good.
Happy cows make good milk.
Happy cheese. There's some fucking cheese commercial in California about happy cows make happy cheese. Fuck. I'm never gonna.
Cheese. Toby like happy cheese.
That sounds so nasty. So, like I was saying, well-groomed horses, some handsome horses, and a wagon that would visit the Bell farm for the evening. But as the group approached the Bell property, the wagon stopped suddenly. The horses wouldn't pull it any further. Or wouldn't... What? I wrote the... Oh, I'm sorry.
That was like the most dramatic part of the story, and you just
I know,
butchered
I
it.
fucked it up.
Everybody's laughing at you.
Sorry. The horses couldn't pull it any further or wouldn't pull it any further. They know there's some horse murders on that land.
Yep.
So after several minutes of cursing and trying to coax the horses into pulling the wagon, Jackson proclaimed, "By the Eternal, boys, that must be the Bell Witch." Which is fun.
So did he crown the name, or?
No, I think it was already called the Bell Witch.
Okay.
I don't know where the name actually originated from. Oh, their last name. Fuck.
I honestly didn't even think of that at all.
I thought it was Baby Bell Happy Cheese.
It put the wax on the cheese, and that makes it expansive.
That's all I was gonna say. You make something out of the wax afterwards,
Man,
so you be an artist. Too.
I don't get why they put the wax on it, because that shit tastes awful. I always just throw it away. I don't eat it.
Ooh, I call that the hard red cheese. It makes it tangy.
It's got like no flavor to it. It comes out worse than it goes down. I'll tell you that much.
Ooh, you gotta pick it out of your molars like a Butterfinger. Oh, you guys got a Butterfinger? What about a Snickers?
I know Reese's.
No Reese's. So, okay, here we go. So,
to like the one person that knows what we're talking about, they probably thought that was good.
Yeah.
I hope.
So then a disembodied female voice told Jackson that they could proceed and that she could see them again later that evening. So the ghost is just like greeting people as they come onto the land at this point.
Cool.
So they were then able to proceed across the property after the Bell Witch was like, yeah, you guys can go. And up the lane into the Bell home, where Jackson and John Bell had a long discussion about the Native Americans and other topics, while Jackson's entourage waited to see if the entity was going to manifest. Because like they said, it was a Native American burial mound somewhere on the land, I guess.
Yeah.
And the ghost might have been Native American. So one of the men in Jackson's entourage claimed to be a witch tamer, where you never want to lead with that.
No, that's not a good. You don't want to tame the witch. You want to kill the witch. You know what I mean? Burn the witch. You don't want to. A tame witch is still a witch.
You're right. They're very unpredictable. It's like trying to get a Mustang.
It's like 6 cats in a pillowcase.
This gets better for the witch tamer. So one guy claimed to be a witch tamer, and after several uneventful hours, the witch tamer pulled out a shiny pistol and proclaimed that its silver bullet would kill any evil spirit that it came into contact with.
That's just werewolves.
Exactly. He doesn't know nothing. He's a werewolf tamer, and he doesn't even know it.
God, what a fool.
So he went on to say that the reason nothing had happened to them was because whatever had been disturbing the bells was scared of his silver bullet.
That's cool.
Ooh, he just made a big mistake. Because after a really cool moment of braggadocious pistol wielding, the witch tamer began to scream and violently jerk his body in different directions.
That boy got pretzeled.
Oh, he's got pretzel disease. Hurry, get the honey mustard. Coat him with it. That's crazy that this guy's just like, it's like out of a movie. He's like, no witch is going to come here. And he's like flicking his little pistol around. He's like, I'm the witch tamer. You like my silver ball? Oh, shit. He's like, no. Throwing invisible punches and doing the stanky leg out in the cornfields. So like I said, jerking his body in different directions and complaining that he was being stuck with pins and beaten severely. A strong, swift kick to the man's posterior region, as we on this podcast like to call it, his asshole, from an invisible foot sent him out the front door. Get out of here with your witch taming ass.
He was so ashamed he changed his last name to Wetzel's.
And now he's famous. Can I have the silver bullet with a side of a dipping sauce?
His name is Schneider Wetzel.
Is that his real first name?
No, because the ones you buy at the store, Snyder's.
Oh, I see.
That's like the big brand. I think they're owned by Pepsi.
What's the one that they have at every snack bar? That's like the black box with like blue and red writing, and it's like the big pretzel with like the salt on it. It's like,
is that not Wetzel's Pretzels?
No, it's like a different brand. It's like I think it starts with a D. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll think of it eventually.
Dick Pretzel.
That's it. Oh God, I'm so glad we figured it out. So like I said, this guy has got a bruised asshole. And angry, the entity then spoke up and announced that there was yet another fraud in Jackson's party and that he would be identified and tormented the following evening.
Makes me sick.
The ghost has no fucking time for fraud.
No.
It's the IRS of ghosts. Does not like it. Do not claim to be a witch tamer with your gun and then just fucking, I could kick you in the ass.
Yeah.
Who you going to shoot? The invisible dog? You going to miss every time, buddy?
How do you think the damn dog died in the first place?
Not the dog. You can't cook the invisible dog.
Oh, boy should have to cook his own invisible dog.
So now terrified, Jackson's men begged to leave the Bell farm. Oh, but Jackson, on the other hand, insisted on staying so that he could ascertain who the other fraud was. Damn guy believing in ghosts, lying ghost. So the men eventually went outside to sleep in tents, but continued begging Jackson to leave. It's unclear what happened after they all went to sleep, but Jackson and his entourage were spotted in nearby Springfield early the next morning, leaving the farm, but with possibly one less member of the entourage, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, he did.
He's at the bottom of a whiskey barrel. Whiskey man. He's a pickled whiskey man.
Just bloated with the old whiskey.
Aren't we all? So over time, Betsy Bell became interested in Joshua Gardner, a young man who lived not far from her. So this is obviously Bell's daughter.
Okay.
And with the blessing of their parents, they decided to marry. Everyone was really happy about their engagement. well, almost everyone, the entity, for some reason unknown to this day, repeatedly told Betsy not to marry Joshua Gardner. So
That's
Betsy
the last
and
thing you want to hear on your wedding day.
Any objections?
A higher spirit. Everybody's like, no, we're good with it. And then the fucking thing from the afterlife is like, no.
They're like,
trust me.
Is this a bad omen? You know, people are like, oh no, it rained on my wedding day. Like, oh, it rained on your wedding day? A ghost came up on the altar and pulled my pants down. And it said, do you want to marry this? And everyone laughed. It was cold.
Even the flower girls laughed.
So Betsy and Joshua could not go to the river, the field, or the cave. That's for
where else are they gonna fuck?
Joshua found the treasure, but he found it the hard way. So,
he dug and he dug and he dug.
He found a nice hole out in the field after Betsy dumped him. But like, I love how that's where like everybody, like, they couldn't go to the river, the field, or the cave. It's like those are the three places that you went to go have fun. Which honestly, that might be fun, but it's just
God.
It's not
the funnest place in the world is the cave.
Okay, I'm just saying it's not Dave and Buster's. Okay,
yeah,
so don't at me.
That's true.
I love the Daves and the Busts.
I'm just now regretting my move to Eugene because I don't know where the closest Dave and Buster's is. Where's my closest D&B?
Are there any in Oregon?
I think there was one in Portland.
So you better find it ASAP.
God.
So, like I said, they couldn't go to the river, the field, or the cave to play without the entity taunting them persistently. Their patience finally reached critical mass, and on Easter Monday of 1821, Betsy met Joshua at the river and broke off their engagement. Oh, God, I would never try to dump somebody at a river. Only one swift kick to the posterior region to be floating up Schitt's Creek. You know what I mean?
There's only one thing I like to dump in the river, and that's my trash. Not my car batteries, though. My car batteries go directly in the ocean.
Don't give me a local, don't give me a government given trash dumpster outside my apartment. This is still going in the trash. Don't try to control me, government.
That dumpster is just gonna go right into that lake.
Oh, you're gonna make me wear a mask and you're gonna make me put my trash in a dumpster? I don't think so.
What's next?
My
taxes?
My yogurt lids are going right in the bellies of every fish. Thank you very much.
I'll pick them up when I reel those big mouth bass bastards in.
I want them kind of tasting like strawberry kiwi. So, the disturbances decreased after Betsy ended the engagement. That ghost got what she... I would be so fucking mad if I was Joshua. I'd be like, really, the ghost fucking broke us up? The fucking ghost?
The ghost? Huh? The ghost?
The ghost.
You never wanted to do this anyways. I know it.
So, the disturbances, like I said, decreased after Betsy ended the engagement, but the entity continued to express its dislike for John Bell and vowed relentlessly to kill him. So John Bell is the father, of course, of the patriarch of the Bell family.
Jonathan Bell.
And that ghost fucking hated him. The ghost liked his wife, but I'm thinking that like maybe he liked the wife just to get back at. I mean, the ghost woman liked the wife just to get back at the husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
There's nothing more irritating than when somebody you hate is best friends with your wife.
It's true.
It's so true. So, Bell had been experiencing episodes of twitching in his face and difficulty swallowing for almost a year. And the malady seemed to grow worse with time. By the fall of 1820, his declining health had confined him to the house, where the entity commenced removing his shoes when he tried to walk and slapping his face when he experienced seizures.
There's no shoes in the house, god damn it.
And then he starts having a seizure in the chair, and the ghost starts like, now's my time. Starts slapping the shit out of him.
Wake up, motherfucker, I'm not done with you.
That's what I'm thinking. I was like, actually, I think they're trying to like, you can't die. I'm not done with you yet. I got more yogurt lids to shove down that gullet. So, her. Oh, do you think that she grabbed him like by the neck, and right before she shoved a yogurt lid down his throat, she went, "Let's yo play," and then she shoved the fucking.
She rode in on
cool.
an invisible skateboard with her frozen Go-Gurt.
With her Go-Gurt?
Yo, if you didn't eat your Go-Gurt frozen, get out of my fucking face.
Dude, I had frozen Shrek Go-Gurt.
That's cool.
I had a lot of Shrek stuff growing up.
I somehow don't.
Shrek.
I believe you. I don't doubt
Shrek
it.
ketchup, Shrek underpants.
So was Shrek ketchup just green ketchup, or was it just normal ketchup with Shrek on it?
No, it was green ketchup. It was really gross, actually. It tasted like ketchup, but it was gross like green ketchup.
I remember I had purple ketchup.
So I think both of those were like in the same ketchup promotion, you know?
Yeah.
That they had like a green, purple, orange, anything but red. so after slapping the fuck out of him when he was having a seizure, her loud, shrill voice could be heard all over the farm, cursing and chastising old Jack Bell, as she often referred to him. So, John Bell sadly breathed. I know it's not breath. Breathed. His last breath on the morning of December 20th, 1820. We just missed it. After slipping into a coma the day before. Immediately after his death, the family found a small vial of unidentified liquid in the cupboard.
No. What color was it?
You'll find out. It's purple ketchup. No. John Bell Jr. gave some of it to the cat, which died instantly. That's not okay. Is that how they just tested stuff back then? Like, give it to the cat. Is it a little salami? Give it to the cat. It's okay still? Okay. So the entity then spoke up, exclaiming joyfully, "I gave old Jack a big dose of that last night, which fixed him." And John Jr. quickly threw the vial into the fireplace, where it burst into a bright bluish flame and shot up the chimney.
That's cool.
That's where I'm like I was believing the story until like that Ghostbuster shit. I was like, cool party trick, man. But like, I mean, hey, I wasn't there. This could have still happened.
Yeah.
See, at John Bell's funeral, it was one of the largest ever held in Robertson County, Tennessee. As family and friends began leaving the graveyard, the entity laughed loudly and began singing a song about a bottle of brandy. Ooh, that's a whiskey ghost. That's a brandy ghost. Do you think that like the ghost was like, "Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be"? It loved Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Who doesn't?
True. It is said that her singing didn't stop until the very last person left the graveyard. The entity's presence was almost non-existent after John Bell's demise, as if its purpose had been fulfilled. Also, apparently, at times, like I said, the spirit displayed a form of kindness, especially towards Lucy, John Bell's wife, and it said, "The most perfect woman to walk the earth," the witch would say. And the witch would give Lucy fresh fruit and sing hymns to her. I don't know how it brought her fresh fruit, but that's cool. And the ghost also showed John Bell Jr. a measure of respect, and this would ultimately make some sense, since in April of 1821, the entity visited John Bell's widow, Lucy, and told her that it would return for a visit in 7 years. The entity returned in 1828, as promised, 7 years later. Most of its visits centered around John Bell Jr., who the ghost was also nice to, with whom the entity discussed such things as the origin of life, civilizations, Christianity, and the need for a mass spiritual reawakening.
Yeah, and also the need for a mass burrito.
Ghost is like, "No, you guys don't got here on this farm. A big ass burrito.
I'm talking 12 pounds. First third is a breakfast burrito. Second third is, you know, some chorizo, and the last bit, oh, you know what it is? It's steak.
Ghost, you crazy. How are you going to be wrapping that with that big ass tortilla?
You need 18 avocados.
You got to kill the cat first. That's the trick.
First, you got to poison the cat.
So, that's how you get the chorizo. But
cat rizo.
Anyway, so of particular significance, where is nearly what the fuck did I write? Oh,
to look into a madman's mind.
I guess it also predicted the Civil War, and other events, which I could have said. There's probably gonna be another war going on soon, but you know how war be. Just
I'm a ghost. I'm eternal, so I mean, eventually it's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. So the entity said farewell after 3 weeks, promising to visit John Bell's most direct descendant in 107 years, and the year would have been 1935, and the closest living direct descendant of John Bell at the time was Nashville physician Dr. Charles Bailey Bell. But unfortunately, the Bell Witch did not reappear ever again. Maybe the Bell Witch was waiting on the former land it claimed to be buried on. Maybe the Bell Witch was lost and unable to find Charles Bell, the physician. Or maybe the Bell Witch found another family to torment for years to come. We may never know. And in the end, many people cite the story as a prime example of gossip, hearsay, misremembering, and exaggerated history all rolling into one to form a legend so terrifying and captivating that it can never be true in real life. I can't argue with you if you choose not to believe such a tale, but in the end, none of us were actually there to witness these strange happenings, in turn leaving us to decide if we would rather live in a world of just misremembered events or a world of hidden creatures, forgotten ghosts, and of course, the occasional Bell Witch.
I need you to start writing my outros because I'm just like, yeah, it's done.
Yeah, the monkey died. Hey, everybody, monkey dead.
Technically, statistically, that's probably my most used ending.
So, the monkey dead now.
Y'all can go home now. The monkey dead.
Y'all can go home.
Get home safe now. The monkey dead. The monkey dead.
Y'all can sleep soundly tonight. No one's going to be gnawing on your bedpost. The monkey dead.
There ain't no invisible monkeys, just invisible dogs. Now, the monkey's dead, though.
No, the invisible dog hard to kill. That's the problem with the invisible dog.
All right, Tobin. Today we're going to talk about a man and a profession that not many people know of. And
a man, a plan, Panama.
Panama.
That's a palindrome, buddy.
What?
A man, a plan, Panama. If you spell it backwards, it says the same thing, I think.
Race car.
Mom.
Wow. Okay, we're done.
Oh, you just did another one. Wow,
on purpose.
Cool. Oh, okay, shit.
So this man would be James Wide and a single man. Not a single man, a signal man.
Ooh, a what?
Signal man.
I kind of like him as a single man.
I think he was single too. They don't talk about family. So Tobin, do you know what a signal man is?
That's the guy that sits across the bar and he goes, dude, make your move. Like, you're friends with them. Like,
make your move.
She's here, dude.
He's like pointing at her and then pointing at you.
My friend thinks you're single. Are you single?
He's single.
Can you wear a glow stick that tells you if you're single, taken, or it's complicated like they do in college?
Hey, you're a bouncer. It's cool. I respect you. Is it cool if I hang out with you tonight and hand out glow sticks to figure out who's trying to plow?
Hey, bouncer, is it cool if I stand with you at the door and check people's IDs so I know where they live? No, that's not cool, dude. Well, I'm a signal man, so I hope you understand that I have to do this.
It's just kind of my profession. I need to know this to help everybody out, okay? It's for their own good, too. It's a good meeting ground, you know?
Here's my credentials. Is that a fruit roll-up?
Why, you want some?
Actually, it's a fruit by the foot. That's why it took so long to unravel.
So a signal man or a signaler... That's the only time I'm saying that word in this entire time, because I'm not going to say that one again. Is an employee of a railway transport network who operates the points and signals from a signal box in order to control the movement of trains. And they exist till this day, but our story will take place in 1881, another palindrome. Did that work with numbers?
Train. Nert. Go jump the Nert. Is he the guy that pulls the big lever?
Oh, yeah.
And he switches the train tracks?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I've always wanted that job so I could decide whether to run a lady over who's tied there or 10 old
babies.
men.
10 babies or one hot chick?
Yeah, you ever see that choice you got to make?
Yeah.
Oh, there's always so many dead babies. I always choose the single lady.
When you said dead,
what do you mean you're taking?
Well,
I just killed 10 babies for you.
When you said dead babies, it almost sounded like a Hey Peter there.
Hey, Peter.
I feel like we need to upload that video that David the Coward sent our group chat the other day to our to our Instagram account so they can see exactly what madness it really was.
There's a lot of Hey Peters going on in my old apartment. You know what I'm saying, Peter.
So in the earlier part of the railroad world, a signal man would use lanterns to signal trains and give them information about the tracks ahead. They would sit in a tower and lean out the side to hold a lantern at an angle to let the train know how close the other train was in front of them. Like if they couldn't see it.
That doesn't seem like an exact science to me. Like I
It
feel
worked.
like is that at an angle? Like I just don't know how drastic these movements are. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lantern at an angle doesn't seem like enough for me to be like smash into the train or stop. I don't know.
At the end of the day, you're stopping. So they'd also signal in
Not
case
me.
they'd signal in case there's anything wrong with the track, like cattle were crossing or a car was broken down the tracks or something, or a woman was tied up. And
I mean, people pay a lot of money to shoot a cow with a rocket launcher in Vietnam. I'd pay a lot of money to watch it go boom on the front of a train.
don't think you would.
Ooh, I want some sliders.
It would also be their duty to pull that old cartoony lever.
Yes,
To switch
exactly.
to switch the track's direction for the trains.
Best job ever.
Now, working closely with trains would be a dangerous profession, especially in areas where there were a lot of train traffic on the tracks, and many signalmen died doing their duties.
What?
Yeah, I get squish.
Can't turn your back on a train for a second.
Just
I
like
tell
the
you.
ocean. Now, being that this was the 1800s, not a lot of information about James Wide is available, so we have to go off the various articles I had to gather in my, my mahogany accented study room, and also known as my garage. And James was a South African man who worked for the Cape Town Port Elizabeth Railway Service and devoted his life to the art of being a signalman. And
See, that's the problem I have now is that like there's a lost art and like there's no. I love like I was watching Kitchen Nightmare and I love like the guy who like is the Italian waiter and he's like 75 and he's been like a waiter since he was like 15.
Yeah.
And that's like an art. Like
Oh, yeah.
he like he's so good at that.
yeah.
And you can make a living off that. I don't even know if you can make a living off that anymore, but
Yeah.
like that guy was like, yeah, he was art at pulling the lever with the lantern swanging and
Oh, yeah. It wasn't just an art because he even got himself a nickname for the way he did his practices.
Ooh.
James would gain the nickname Jumper, being that he was well known for running up and down the trains, jumping from rail car to rail car.
Oh my god.
Now,
He literally had the coolest job ever.
Well,
it's like me when I played Red Dead. I'm like, jump.
I sat there for a good 20 minutes trying to understand why he did this. Was it a part of his job? Like, did it require him to do this? Was it even like necessary? Which only leads me to believe that he is the true creator and grandfather of parkour. But yeah, I seriously could not figure out why the fuck he was doing it.
I mean, I feel like everybody was like sniffing the fumes off their pork pie hats, off their bowler hats, like the silver fumes that make you go crazy.
Yeah.
And you wonder why so many guys die doing their jobs because of shit like that, I bet.
Oh yeah. And no
He's
OSHA.
like, I bet the train could go over me. And they're like, it literally has never gone over anything and not smushed it completely. They're like, no, I lost like 5 pounds recently.
Oh, it will go over you. So James Jumper Wide would end up becoming a pretty ironic nickname because his strange passion for jumping between real cars would lead to one unfortunate day where he slipped and he fell onto the tracks underneath a moving train.
No, David.
No, Jumper didn't die, but both of his legs would be sliced off from the sheer force of the train's unforgiving wheels and power.
We did the hobo story. Some guy lost his leg like that.
People lose a lot of legs.
Yeah, it's a legless job.
No, it's not. You need your legs.
Dude, that sucks so much because his name was Jumper, and now people are gonna think his name's a joke.
Yeah, it's not a good nickname.
Like a really big guy named Tiny or a really tiny guy named Biggie.
Yeah, that's like when the little tiny guy named Biggie puts on a lot of weight, and then people are like, "That's kind of a mean nickname."
Exactly.
Yep.
See, Jesus. Now he stumps.
Yeah. So now, as you could imagine, this would be a huge problem for the job that required a signal man to be quick and nimble and maybe jump from train to train. Still not sure how that was a part of their job, but that's what he did.
Like, hey, buddy, I think you can still keep your job because you didn't need to do that.
Well, I can't imagine getting into the tower would be easy, or like rushing to the lever.
Yeah. Unless he was like strictly on tower duty, and then there's another guy. Like now there has to be like another guy to do the heavy lifting, I feel like.
Yeah. So now most people in this position would probably call it quits. And in the days of the 1880s, the life of a double amputee were not ideal when it came to survival. So what would James do? Not giving up on life, James did the thing anybody would do who refused to give up on his passion. So he decided to get the helping hand of an assistant.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So using his new dual-legged peg legs, James walked a South African market, unsure of what he would do.
Wait, he had 2 peg legs?
Yeah, there's photos of it. It's pretty badass. They look cool as shit, too.
Did he have, like, crutches, too, or was he just, like, balancing?
He doesn't have crutches in the photos I saw.
Wow.
This guy was a badass. So he was walking the market, and then he saw it. His new assistant, driving an ox cart through the bustling market with immaculate precision. James laid his eyes on a Chacma baboon.
Oh, my God.
That's right, baby. Monkey story.
Woo! I was literally about to say, this better not be another monkey, but literally, I was going to say that because I was like, there's no way it could be another fucking monkey. And it is. It always is. And it always will be. David, what did I get you for Christmas?
I actually used it tonight for the first time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you got me some, it was some monkey-themed barbecue sauce.
Was it very hot? It said hot.
It's awesome. It tastes insanely good, and it's really hot, but only for like a few seconds. It's
okay.
I've never had I'm a big hot sauce person. Love hot sauce. Love spicy stuff. I don't think I've ever had anything that's that hot, but goes away so quickly.
Oh, interesting.
Tastes
probably the sweetness of the barbecue sauce that helps counteract.
It's fucking good. Like when I run out, I'm gonna like buy another bottle somewhere. You have to tell me where you got it.
I think it's from like Ventura or something like that. So we
Good as shit. Uncle Monk.
Yeah. Uncle Monkey.
Well, it says on the thing, it says Uncle Monk. That's his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a monkey flexing. So
David, I had to get it.
Yeah. So James saw the potential in this monkey and bought him from his previous owner and named him Jack, making him his new pet, personal assistant, and red-assed son.
Dude, you have a thing for Jockos, for Jacks and Jockos.
Jacks and Jockos, baby.
Wow.
So living a half mile from the train station, it was becoming difficult for James to get to work. So the first order of business was to teach Jack to push him to and from work in a small trolley cart. And not long after this, James had Jack doing things around the house like sweeping the floors and taking out the trash.
Oh, yeah. Throwing it right in the river.
Oh, yeah. Right. He lived close to the river. That monkey would just go out there and fucking toss it.
They put it in a bag, and then the monkey would go to the river and then empty it out of the bag.
And bring the bag
into
back.
The river.
They only had one trash bag.
It was just way harder to pick up now. We do not support littering, actually. This is a joke. I fucking hate when people litter. Don't litter. I hate it.
Oh, it drives me nuts. I can't tell you how many times I've been like sitting in my car and I see someone throw trash out their car and I'm just like, I really just want to get out and like pick it up and throw it back into their car.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't a coward.
Such a coward. It's always the most terrifying people in the world that do it, though.
Yeah, it's a guy with like cigarette burns all over his face. And you're like, what happened to him?
Like they're in that really old truck that has the shotgun in the back window.
Yeah, with the Punisher skull.
Yes.
You're like, oh no, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna die for this litter. I'll go and I'll pick it up and then I'll eat it. I'll say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't hurt me.
I run up to him and I go, you made me sick, sir. And then I start crying on him, and he hates it. He'll never do it again for that reason.
I'm gonna make you see what it looks like when it comes out of me, so you can imagine what it does to our ecosystem.
I am a turtle.
I can handle the pain, but the turtles can't. Now, you would think trains would be too loud to scare Jack, scare the crap out of a monkey. So James thought of that too. So James would repetitively shoot shotguns close to Jack's ears until he lost all of his hearing.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Please tell me that's a joke.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Oh, God. No, like, imagine you being concerned for your monkey being scared, so you just shoot shotguns next to its head to try to, like, deafen it. That's like the most sadistic, fucked up thing you can think of.
Oh no! No, the trains didn't bother him much. Or at least they didn't say they did. The signal boxes were.
He didn't sign it. Yeah. He didn't sign that he was scared because he was very deaf from all the shotgun blasts.
It's hard to tell if he's scared because he's always screaming no matter what.
But good thing I removed his larynx. So he can't scream anymore.
I just hit him in the throat with the butt of my shotgun until he couldn't scream.
We're fucked up. Oh, fuck.
So the signal boxes were Jack's jam. As the trains would approach the rail switches, they would blow their whistles a number of times to alert the signal man to what tracks to change. It didn't give me examples like 2 horns were right or something like that. But by watching James, Jack picked up the pattern quick and started pulling the levers on his own.
I don't like that.
Oh, you will.
He's switching it to the tracks that run straight through the daycare. Jack, don't pull that one.
You just see him just going back and forth really fast, screaming.
You can't trust him.
So before James knew it, Jack was so efficient that James could sit back and watch his beautiful screaming son do all the work. According to the publication, The Railway Signal, James had trained the baboon to such perfection that he was able to sit in his cabin, stuffing birds, etc. Don't know what that means. While the animal, which was chained up outside, pulled all the levers and points.
Wait, he was stuffing birds?
Yeah, I guess he was just like making.
Was he like a taxidermist kind of now.
I don't know.
Side hustle, baby.
Well, there's no Netflix back then, so that's all you could do was stuff animals of various materials and cottons.
Marble eyes.
So
not marble eyes, but marble eyeballs.
Now, obviously, this magical story can't come without the naysayers. And one day, a train of the rich and wealthy looked out the window to notice the ape controlling the switches and complained to the railway authorities.
Karens.
Leave it to the rich, man.
Fucking Karens, man.
So
can't handle when a baboon has a job.
So
he's a baboon, right? He's a baboon,
yeah, he's
right?
a baboon.
Okay.
So the authorities took the complaints seriously and investigated and decided against firing James on the spot and decided to test Jack Baboon's abilities, which they walked away dumbfounded and impressed.
Exactly.
Here's a quote. Jack knows the signal whistles as well as I do. Also, every one of the levers, wrote Railway Superintendent George B. Howe, who was also involved in the investigation. He also said, "It was very touching to see his fondness for his master. As I drew near, they were both sitting on a trolley, the baboon's arm around his master's neck and the other hand stroking James's face."
Oh,
so
I
cute.
thought you were going to say one hand around his neck and the other one around his neck. And James
one down his throat.
James was blue and purple with happiness.
Just like his son. Blue, purple, and red.
He was so excited his eyes were coming out of his head.
So,
he was strangling him.
After this whole ordeal, Jack was eventually given notice as an official employee and given an employee number while being paid 20 cents a day, which in today's money is about $5.10.
Not bad.
And oh boy, when I typed it in Google at first for inflation, I accidentally typed $20, not 20 cents, which made a drastic difference. And I was about to be like, what the fuck? This monkey's making $510 a day?
That's so insulting to like the guy who's like, "Can I have a job? My family's hungry." And we're like, "Sorry, we got a baboon pulling this.
Yeah, we're gonna pay the baboon. Sorry." Jack was also paid with half a bottle of beer weekly, which is awesome. It makes me wonder if
lightweight.
Well, yeah, probably, but it makes me wonder if they gave him like one full beer every 2 weeks. How do you give someone half a bottle of beer?
I think it's probably the one that's filled with like cigarette butts or something like that.
The one that was left out in the rain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like half rainwater, half chewing tobacco spit, no beer, 40 cigarette butts.
So, unfortunately,
Jack.
Unfortunately, this did take place in the 1880s, and we all know baboons do not live to be 140 years old.
What?
And yes, after working on the railroads for 9 years without making a single mistake,
what?
The monkey died.
Employee of
monkey,
the 9
monkey
years.
died.
No.
Jack passed away in 1890. Tobin, do you want to guess what took this glorious baboon's life?
He better have passed away in his sleep. Or was it alcoholism?
Oh, it's one of your favorite answers to that question of how did someone die back in the day.
Oh, no. He got TB?
That's right. The good old TB got him. Didn't know monkeys could get tuberculosis, but...
Put him in the hospital. Put him at Waverly, baby.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, that's it for my story today. A hell of a story to end off this shithole year that was 2020. So I'll leave you with this message, and that's never overthink every option, because sometimes taking that baboon to the train yard would be the best decision you ever made. And Happy New Year.
David, no. End with what you're supposed to end with.
A monkey dead.
There we go. That's the most 2020 thing I've ever heard.
The monkey dead.
The monkey dead.
The monkey died.
Anyway, I think that's all we have for you guys today, whenever you're listening to this. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We love telling you these stories, and we love you to stick around to hear it. If you guys want any more information, follow us on Camp Strange Podcast at Instagram, and click the link in the bio. We have all the hyperlinks there for merch, any place you want to listen to our podcast. Used to be the website. That's not up anymore because it costs too much money. And if you guys want to rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, we would love that as well. Like I said, we got merch if you want to check that out too. And if you guys want to send us anything, send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com, and we would gladly send something back to you. And I think that wraps it up.
I might point out that our FaceTime that we used to communicate through this froze 7 times during this recording, so if there is a weird spot, we apologize for that.
Big FaceTime doesn't want us to tell you about these stories.
It was to the point that we think we're hacked. We think Russia's doing this. We said something bad about Vlad. Vlad, I'm sorry. You know we love you. In your shirtless horseback riding, please don't.
Give us our FaceTimes back.
Please, Vlad.
And David, do you have anything else to say before we head out?
Happy New Year. This is a new year for you and me. This year is going to be better than the last. 2020's in the dumpster.
In the river.
That's what I call the river, is the dumpster.
Is that a Santana song you just sung?
It's hard to recognize without that soul stretching guitar riffs.
And Michelle Branch singing along.
Yeah.
Where my branch head's
I'm
at.
a big branch head.
Anyway, thank you guys, and also don't forget to stay strange.